tuning in today's video. I do want to talk about B visa / B2 visa, frequently asked questions, and also I'm going to cover student visa. So this is a video based on most frequent asked questions you guys actually emailed us or stated below my videos, and I basically took a look at these questions and I'm going to answer them. At the end of this video, I do want to provide a solution for those who need help, so stay tuned. Let's do this. So very briefly, B1, B2 visa is essentially the same type of visa, even though it's called B1 or B2. The main difference is that B1 is for business visitors and B2 is for tourists. Essentially, it's the same type of visa. Typically, is issued for 10 years, and you will have a visa stamp for 10 years. However, it doesn't necessarily mean you can stay in the United States for 10 years. Maximum length of stay is typically 6 months. Now, the difference between B1, B2 and ESTA is that ESTA is just a waiver program, and that means that you can enter the country without visa for 90 days. However, you cannot change the status, right, to a different visa type. You need to leave the country when the ESTA will expire. The stay will expire, not necessarily the ESTA, because the ESTA is given for 2 years. With the B visa, you can actually change your status. So, for example, you enter as a tourist or a business visitor, and for whatever reason, you decide to stay. For example, you want to enroll to school and you want to apply for F1 visa. Or maybe you want to extend your stay for additional 6 months. Or maybe you want to go from a B1 business visitor to actually E2 investor. In that case, you can do that without leaving the country. You can change the status. With ESTA, if you are on ESTA, you cannot do anything. You need to leave the country and then re-enter back with different visa type. So many people ask me if I can change the status and how do I do that? Well, it's a process, obviously. You need to qualify in order to do that. The best thing is to consider changing your status or to extending your stay before the expiration of your current stay. And I advise you to do so at least 90 days before expiration, because as I told you, you're going to be allowed to stay in the United States for 6 months. So if you are planning to extend it, make sure to start on time, start ahead of time, at least 90 days before expiration of your current status. Now, if you want to change it to, for example, like I said, I'm dealing with entrepreneurs. Most of my cases are E2 visas. So if you want to change it to E2 visa, you obviously need to be eligible. You need to start a business and all of that. You can check my other videos on E2 visa, and you can do it within the United States. But frequently asked question is, why would I do it within the United States if I can go through US consulate, or why should I apply again through US consulate if I can change the status in the United States? Many people want to change the status in the United States, and the answer is this: if you change the status, you're just changing a status, not necessarily the visa, right? Because the visa is in your passport, and if you want to leave the country, then you will have to go through the US embassy once again, and then you have to go through the same process once again. And because of that, I advise you, if you are applying for E2, for example, or if you are thinking to enroll to school, it's better, well, actually with E2 is more suitable for E2. It's better to go through US consular processing, because then you will get the stamp and then you can actually leave the country and you can travel, unless exception applies, which there are countries that only give you issue E2 visa. There is a single entry, or single entry, and in such cases you cannot really travel back and forth, and in that case it doesn't really matter, and you can just change the status from B to E2. Now, if you are on B visa and you want to extend the visa, right, you can do so. You can extend the visa in United States early on, and obviously there is evidence you need to supply, and you obviously need to do the filing. There is an entire process, which I'm not going to cover in this video, but you can do so. You can actually extend it for another 6 months if you qualify. Very important to keep in mind, you need to show ties to your home country. If you don't have ties, then you're probably not going to be approved, and you also need to show that you're able to finance this stay, right? You have funds, because otherwise there is a suspicion that you will actually stay there, either working legally or doing something that you should not be doing under this status. So that's that. You can certainly extend the stay. You can certainly change your status. What's the difference between B1 and B2? Well, there is not really a difference. The only difference is that if you actually go as a business visitor, you will be given B1 visa. If you go as a B2 tourist, you will be giving B2. But if you go as both, as a business visitor and tourist, then you will get B1/B2 in your passport. It's a multiple entry visa type. Now, very important is to know what kind of evidence to submit. There are comments of you guys. Many of you guys are saying things like, the consulate didn't even look at my evidence. Well, obviously, because here's why. They didn't look at your evidence because they receive your application DS-160, as you know, and you are not a good fit. So you are immediately rejected. Even though you go for the interview, pro forma, you never pass the interview because they already know you're not a good fit, you don't have the proper background to actually travel to the United States, you don't have strong ties, etc. So you are automatically rejected, and therefore they never ask you for any evidence. It's that simple. If you are a good fit, good candidate, then they ask you for the evidence, or maybe if they haven't decided if they are giving you this visa type, then they might ask for additional evidence. But if they already made a decision, then even if you go for the interview, you will be rejected. And also there was a comment from some of you, they never tell us the reason why. Well, why don't you ask why? If they say you are rejected, nobody is putting a gun in your head that you cannot ask why. You can always ask why. Why am I being rejected? Can you tell me why? And they will tell you. And usually you will also receive a notice, right? There is going to be a paper, and it says the reason. And based on that reason, you will know what's the issue. And I would always ask. And then, another question you guys asking, can I apply again? Yes, you can. You can apply next week. Be my guest if you actually meet the requirements, if you actually fix the issue. The issue is why you were not approved at the first place. Once you fix that, you can apply again, and most likely you can be approved. It doesn't really matter if you apply a week later or 2 weeks later. You can apply as long as you want, but keep in mind, so there is actually no point of applying again if you don't actually fix the error, right? So that makes sense. So yeah, so that's that. If you want to go from B visa to a student, obviously you can do that. You need to be enrolled to school, you need to receive I-20 form, you need to be accepted by the school, and then you need to go, obviously, if you are back home, then you have to go for the US Embassy for the interview. If you're not back home, if you're just changing the status, you can certainly do it within the United States. Again, make sure you do it on time. So there are things that you need to know, such as what evidence to submit and how you actually establish strong ties, etc. What's the process like? And I do have actual program for you guys that I created, and that it's gonna basically cover all these different visa types: B1, how to get it; B2, how to get it; F1, how to get it; how to change the status; how to actually extend your stay in the United States. There's gonna be also a bonus video on, actually not a video, bonus program on how you apply for DV lottery, because this is frequently asked question. Also note, Mr. Trump never canceled the lottery. It's still on, and you can still apply, but not now. You can only apply in October, so make sure to avoid fraud. Don't pay anybody. Again, there is a entire course included in my program, so you can learn how to properly file and apply and submit the DV lottery. There is a bonus which you're gonna get for free. So these are things that are for people who want to finally learn how to do it, and without actually consulting me as an attorney or without actually hiring another attorney. It's very affordable. There is going to be 50% off for first 10 people, and you can actually access the program below. There are also people asking me if I can help you with B1, B2, and I no longer actually do B1, B2s. If you want to work with me, you can only work with me on E2. I take premium clients on E2. I no longer take other clients that are seeking different visa types. So this is actually a program that I created for those who need help with this, which is going to be super affordable. And like I said, there's going to be a discount, 50% off for the first 10 people who actually sign up for this program. Again, I'm going to post the link below this video where you can access the program. And of course, if you have any question, comments, you can shoot us an email at office@immigrationbiz.com. Now, if you are new to my channel, make sure to subscribe to receive weekly updates. And if you like this video, please like it, share it with people who need this information. And thank you so much for tuning in. I'll see you in my next video. Have a great day.